Eating healthy is just too much work. Do you agree? If yes, then I'm going to change that in today's video. Let's go. So I'm in my kitchen right now and I'm going to show you certain pantry essentials that I just cannot be without, and you are going to walk away with this one lesson that eating healthy can really be super easy. You do not need to stock up on any special ingredients. You do not need to spend thousands of bucks on just trying to eat healthy, because it really can be very simple. Here is the stock of all the energy giving foods that I have, which are the carbohydrates, which make the staple of any meal that you want to have. So I have rice, and so it's a mix of all the lunch, dinner and breakfast carbohydrates that I usually consume. So I have plain white rice. Yes, don't freak out. Yes, I am a dietitian, and you also need to eat your carbs, because these are the foods which are going to give you energy for all of the day-to-day work that you do, for all of the exercise that you do, for all the running after the kids that you do. You need carbohydrates even if you want to lose weight. So the first one, my favorite one, is rice, and I usually have a lot of boiled rice in my food. And yeah, apart from that, I have atta, the wheat flour, which it's a little big drum, so I'm not taking it out, and I do not mix anything in my wheat flour. Also, if you are also planning to go gluten-free, it's not going to help unless you are a celiac patient. So it's a medical condition where you cannot digest wheat, and that's the only case where you need to avoid wheat. Otherwise, you can keep having your wheat, you can keep having your chapatis. And apart from that, I have this is buckwheat, and this is bajra, which is pearl millet. And I also posted a recipe on my Instagram about both of these, so you can check out that recipe guide. And in fact, all of the things that I'm going to mention today, they are going to be there in the recipe guide that I've created on Instagram. So whatever you find there, if you find anything which is intriguing, you want to try it, the raw materials are here. Then apart from that, I'll have to have poha in the breakfast. Although my domestic help doesn't make really nice poha, so whenever I make poha, I make it on my own. And then I have the plain, unflavored, unsweetened oats. And what I really like to do is that I add some fruits, milk, some nuts and seeds, which I'm also going to come to that, and have them for my breakfast. Although this is my go-to breakfast for summers, because I love mangoes. I love adding mangoes to oats and milk, and that's my favorite, all-time favorite breakfast. Yes, unfortunately mangoes are not available in the winters, otherwise I would have it around the year. Next are my processed grains, which are semolina macaroni, vermicelli and rice noodles. I actually recently tried rice noodles and I really loved them. I have made them twice and they came out really nice. And apart from that, yeah, the vermicelli and the macaroni, these two are also one of my favorite salty breakfast items. Yeah, so you can have them too. And I just noticed something about the misleading marketing, which I want to highlight here. So this macaroni packet says cholesterol free, and we see a lot of products saying and claiming that they are cholesterol free, but I want to break this myth over here. No plant product has cholesterol anywhere. So they are writing cholesterol free, and that goes by definition because it's made out of semolina, which is a wheat product, and no plant has cholesterol. So these are just to market the products better. So no plant product has cholesterol anyway. Do not fall for these marketing gimmicks. I'm not saying that don't buy the products which have cholesterol free written over there, but what I'm saying is that these terms are used so that you get into that fancy buying behavior. Even if they didn't write it, it wouldn't have. So all of the other brands which are not writing cholesterol free, they're also cholesterol free. So make your choices that way. I also do have ragi somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, ragi is also an amazing grain. It has a very high amount of calcium. I do have it, I can't find it, but I use it for my chilas. I use it for making a cake. I also made a cake using ragi, and that recipe is also on my Instagram, so you can check out. Anyway, I've tied my hair because I was just feeling too hot. I don't have a fan in the kitchen. I think like most people, Do you have a fan in your kitchen? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's talk about the proteins that I have now. The primary source for any vegetarian family, and in fact for a non-vegetarian family also in India, is lentils. And I do stock up on a lot of lentils. I have my chana, rajma, lobia, arhar dal, tur dal, moong dal. I have all of these dals stocked up in their respective boxes in the shelf. However, I did not want to take out all of the boxes because that's going to be too much work. So I've taken out the ones which are left out in the packet after putting it in the box. So one thing that I want to talk about the lentils is that yes, they are a primary source of protein for a lot of people, and yes, there is a myth that because they have carbohydrates also, they are not a substantial source of protein. However, I disagree with that, because there are multiple researches which have proven that the ideal protein absorption happens when it is taken in a ratio of 3:1 with carbohydrates. That means 3 parts of carbohydrates and 1 part of protein. So it doesn't matter even if your source of protein has carbohydrates, because that's going to only enhance your protein absorption. Also, there is another claim which says that pulses are not a complete protein because they lack methionine, which is an essential amino acid. However, if we go by that definition, the combination of grains and pulses like dal chawal, dal roti, that completes that nutrition profile, because the amino acid which is lacking in dals is present in grains, and the ones which is absent in grains is present in dal. So that's the reason why I like Indian meals. And apart from that, one major protein source that I cannot live without is my protein supplementation. Oh my god, how can you say protein supplement? Are you not a natural nutritionist? Yes, I am. And so is my protein, because the whey proteins that are coming in a dabba are actually extracted out of milk. So if the milk gets curdled, then you can remove the paneer out of it, and that water that is left is the whey. And if you dehydrate that, that is the whey protein concentrate. And yes, the proteins also can come in the unflavored and uncolored options, as well as the colored and flavored options. It depends on you which you want to choose. And anyway, we are taking a lot of preservatives on a daily basis. Why not in the protein? What is this protein preservative that is going to harm you so much? The protein that I use often is the Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard. I think they should, I rave about them so much that they should sponsor me, but they might not, because right now in this dabba there is As It Is protein, because I was just trying out. So these are the two brands that I really like, As It Is Nutrition and Optimum Nutrition. I ran out of this box and then I refilled that with the As It Is protein, and that finishes the proteins. Oh my god, I recalled something which was so important and I was about to miss it. So there are certain anti-nutritional factors in pulses which cause the gas, the farting and the heaviness and bloating after eating certain pulses. These anti-nutritional factors, there are many. There are some enzyme inhibitors, there are some saponins, there are lectins, phytic acids, and all of these anti-nutritional factors can cause the gastric disturbance, as well as the difficulty in digestion, as well as the hindrance in the absorption of other nutrients. And that's the reason why it's so important to take away these anti-nutritional factors from the pulses that you're consuming. And it's really easy. If you're just soaking your pulses really well for at least 3 to 4 hours, the normal pulses, and the heavy ones like beans and chana and chole, you can soak them overnight, wash them really well, and all that foam that you get after washing these pulses, these are the saponins, soap-like structures which can cause gastric disturbances. So you just wash your pulses really well, soak them really well, and pressure cook them. And that way you will feel that the digestion is going to be eased out. And apart from that, you can add the spices, which was anyway the next segment, which can enhance the absorption of the pulses without causing any issues. So let's just go to the spices now. There's just something about cinnamon, you know, the smell. But you know, this thing, this magic is there in all the spices, because spices have volatile oils which give them their flavor, their aroma, their color. And these volatile oils not only enhance the overall flavor profile of any meal, but they are also very potent antioxidants, and that is the reason why spices can help you give the anti-aging benefits, give you anti-inflammatory benefits. So if you are looking for all of these benefits, if you are looking for ways to enhance the overall health, spices are a must. And if there is anyone who is telling you that you need to cut down on spicy foods in order to maintain health, that's actually total crap. Because when we talk about having less spicy, we are talking about reducing the amount of sodium which is coming by salt, reducing the amount of too much chili, which can cause ulcers if you already have acidity issues. But otherwise, the other spices, cumin, coriander, carom, hing, cinnamon, these are all loaded with nutrition, loaded with benefits. You should definitely include them in your daily routine and daily life. And in fact, researchers also support that. So yeah, I mean, I'll just keep smelling hing here, and you can plan to include spices, a lot of spices in your food. Next up is my fats and sugars. I love my fats, I love my sugars, and I'm going to show you what all I have here. So I always stock up on dates. These are not even open. This one is open, and I have, I think, 3 or 4 more of these, because in the last 1 year that I've been married, there was a lot of incoming sweets, and after a lot of requests, I convinced everyone to give me dates, because I did not want to have sweets. And now I have like, I think 7 or 8 of these. I use dates to make evening snacks, and there are these balls that I make using dates, sattu, sesame seeds. You can check that recipe also on my Instagram page. Apart from that, I have raisins, figs, and more raisins, and some trail mixes. I have a massive sweet tooth, and the reason why I stock up on these is that only. I need to have sweet around me, and I try to keep it healthy, because when I am having dehydrated fruits, it's giving me the sugar minus the empty calories, because it is coming with some nutrition as well. And I can use these to make other snacks as well. So the dates can be replaced with figs or raisins as well in those laddus, so you can use that. Apart from that, I also made a panjiri in which I had added the raisins. So yeah, I need my desserts, but I try to keep them healthy. And the trail mixes is for the time when I do not have any dessert prepared, but I need something really quick, and that's when I have, and this has a mixture of cranberries, raspberries, and some blueberries, and some seeds, which has shea. It has shea, almond, cashews. It has some iodized salt as well, but then that's okay, because I hardly ever have it. It was also gifted to me about a month back, and I still have like half of this left. So, and the reason why I'm able to manage my sugar cravings is because otherwise during the day I am eating stomach full. And this is one pro tip that I would like to give you, that if you're working on certain cravings, maybe you should look at the other meal timings when you are supposed to have food. Are you having enough food at that time? Because if you're not, then cravings are bound to happen. Another sweet that I use is honey, and this also I'm not using it in everything. I'm just using it when I'm making a cake, for example. So I make banana breads, I had made ragi cake as well. So rather than adding sugar, I add this because it just makes the entire thing moist while giving it the sweetness. However, I would refrain from saying that honey is better than sugar. It's not. They are equal calories, but because I like my cakes a little moist, that's the reason why I use honey. That's all. Apart from that, for my fats, I have the desi ghee, I have the mustard oil with me, and dry coconut. I use this to make coconut chutneys for any time when I'm having a South Indian breakfast. And I also do have my desiccated coconut. Yes, I have desiccated coconut also. So depends what kind of texture I'm going for in my coconut chutney. So if I really want a very super strong flavor of coconut, then I go with the actual dehydrated coconut. And otherwise, if I'm in a quick mood of making this coconut chutney without having to do the effort to grate this, then I just use the desiccated coconut already. It also doesn't have any flavors or colors. And this, I have actually finished 6 or 7 of these, because this also, as a part of the ritual, is given to the new couple whenever someone invites us for lunches or dinners. So I had a lot of these as well, and I've made a lot of coconut chutney this year. And this next section of my pantry is what I call the magic makers, because these are the things which just elevate my desserts, my smoothies, my shakes, and my macaronis and pastas as well. So first up is the unsweetened cocoa powder. I cannot live without this, because it goes into my banana shakes, it goes into my cakes. And yes, you can have cakes, you can have banana shakes. My clients have it almost on an everyday basis. I'm not adding any sugar to this. It just has banana, milk, this, and my protein powder. That's all. It's the go-to breakfast for me, for every time when I'm running late, for every time when I want to have a little lighter breakfast. And if I really want to have a very thick smoothie, I add some oats as well. The recipe of that also is on my Instagram. And whenever I've used this in my cakes, those recipes are also on my Instagram page. Apart from that, I have nutritional yeast. This is actually dead yeast, but it's a super high source of vitamin B12. So great for any vegetarian person out there. Also, it gives a very slight cheesy and nutty taste to your pastas and your macaronis. So highly recommended. Apart from that, I actually, by mistake, I ordered this. I didn't like it much. It's the vegan Parmesan cheese. I was going for the nutritional yeast, but by mistake I ordered this. And a similar mistake happened with my husband also, because I asked him to order a vanilla essence, and he ordered the vanilla essence, but then the company sent the blue color and we haven't even opened this. But yeah, I love vanilla essence, and right now I'm using the butterscotch essence. A few drops of this in any cakes or any smoothies, even my ice creams, it elevates the entire profile of that meal so much. Highly recommended. Use these flavors, because let me just take a sniff. So yeah, I love sweet, and I have a very romantic relationship with food. I think I have established that already. And the next is the oregano seasoning. This also I use as a spice for my macaronis, for my pastas, for my rice noodles, and again enhances the entire flavor profile. And also, oregano is a mix of herbs, again has a lot of volatile oils which are very potent antioxidants. So highly recommended that you use this also. And these are really small things which can enhance the flavor of your meal, and you can make these fancy looking meals without going all fancy on cost, on ingredients, because I think you would agree that my pantry is like super simple. And that is it. That's all that's there in my pantry. And apart from that, of course, the daily essentials, the milk, curd, I make my own curd, the fruits and vegetables keep coming. But yeah, that's all that's there in my kitchen. Let me know how you like this video. If you think that this was super simple and this was not expected at all, that a dietitian eats such a simple food, you might be falling prey to a lot of fancy fat loss foods that are out there that are marketed as fat loss foods. If that is the case, and if you want to check if you are wasting time on certain fat loss products, then watch this video next, because in this video I talk about the foods which are marketed as fat loss products but they don't do anything. So I will see you in this one, and bye. Have fun.